Hey everyone, I'm back from EVO and QuakeCon, which means I can sit down and put together my next video, which funnily enough is what you're watching right now. With the latest KOMBAT cast showing off Smoke, Geras and Oshra, I noticed that Li Mei wasn't included, besides the show match at the end of the stream. This means that with the beta this weekend, including Li Mei, I think it's a good time to release a full gameplay overview of the character ready for the beta period. Think of this as more of a primer, not necessarily a full in-depth guide, but more of a learning tool to get you prepared for the games to come. And should she not change much in the full release, well, this video is probably still going to be helpful to you if you watch it later. I'd like to thank Warner Brothers extensively for letting me capture this exclusive gameplay at EVO 2023, and I hope you enjoy today's video. To summarize Li Mei as a character, you could say that she's a fighter that has a bit of everything as a base, but definitely areas that she needs a cameo to cover. She has combo tools, great mobility, air options, range, and some setup, but in other areas may need the support of a cameo fighter to fill that mechanical gap. Starting with her buttons, let's talk about forward 4. It's a low starting kick that has two enders. Forward 4-4, which is a safe overhead ender, and forward 4-3, which is a launching yet unsafe option. 1-2-4 is your basic combo confirm tool, and this is a 3-hit string that has a special cancelable third hit. Now, Li Mei doesn't have a huge amount of specials that turn into combos. From this, Li Mei by herself likely has to rely on enhanced projectile for a launch, which costs meter, but with cameo support, she can turn more strings into combos where she otherwise wouldn't. 2-1-4 is another 3-hit string, but this third hit can't be special cancelled, at least not right now. So the 2-1 is generally the string that you use for this instead, as 2-1 is a nice grounded attack that can be turned into extensions with specials or cameo. Back 2, it's a mid for Li Mei, and back 2-1 is a somewhat long knockdown. While this is a mid, it's a short range mid, so it can't be used anywhere other than point blank for the most part. Back 2-1's long knockdown could, in theory, lead to some good setup for certain things, but we'll have to wait and see for that. Back 3-4, it can be a good string to use in combos, and the back 3 standalone will juggle an opponent in the air if they're already airborne. Simple combos like forward 4-3 into back 3 into something else will usually work here. Forward 3 is an interesting one. It's an overhead dropkick that's a single hit. Anyone that's played Erron Black in MK11 will know what I'm talking about. However, here, you can actually hold the 3 input down to charge it. And during this state, you can perform air specials instead of the normal by itself. Flip kick or air projectile. They both work, and it's a cool way to fake out an opponent looking to block just the dropkick standalone. 4-3-4 doesn't look like much as it can't be comboed by itself, even in the corner, I tried. However, this is one of those strings that with the right cameo assist can be turned into a combo anyway. The 4-3 is a 2-hit that, similar to 2-1, can be used to confirm into various specials and cameos for combo potential. 4-3-1-2, however, is one of those strings in NRS games where you kind of have to perform the last 2 buttons really close together to get the whole thing. This string I wasn't certain of, but I think down the line could be used for combos on the ground just without the 4th hit, or maybe a sneaky extra 4th hit on block might catch people off guard. Now, her low pokes and her uppercut and all that, they're all kind of your standard low pokes from what I could see. Nothing really special there, but certainly not terrible. Specials are where a lot of the personality or mechanical identity of Li Mei in previous games is preserved. I was pleasantly surprised. Starting with back forward 1, which is a simple projectile that flies forward. It's good for what it does, which is deal damage and move kind of fast. This is a high, and it can be crouched, including her enhanced version. But this is a launcher, and it allows for combos up close for the cost of 1 bar. This fireball can also be used in the air, and yes, instant air fireball is completely possible. Airborne enhanced fireball will also lead to increased combos, so keep this in mind when you're looking for that high damage output. Down back 3 is a grounded flip kick. It's a simple combo ender by itself, and it hits once. The fast startup makes it a pretty go-to combo ender at the end of long combos, especially when the gravity's been used up. However, the enhanced flip is really fast. It is so fast that you can actually punish a down one on block, and this is a game changer for those trying to mash low pokes against you up close. Li Mei has another flip kick in this game, and one that is much more familiar to many of you. Her air flip kick is something that you'll recognize straight from Deadly Alliance and beyond, and it's performed with down back 4. This is an overhead and is extremely fast. On top of being a fantastic combo ender after air combos, the speed and the ability to instant air this gives Li Mei an instant overhead that she can let loose at lightning speeds. If you're not looking for this move, or you're worried about her low forward 4, this is going to chew you up. The enhanced version will deal increased damage. Back forward 4 is a charging knee attack that initiates a flurry of punches. Again, it's kind of like Deadly Alliance, isn't it? This attack is a wonderful combo ender due to its knockdown frames and the ability to pair with ambush cameos to pick up on it for more damage. But also, the enhanced version of this is Li Mei's Armored Reversal. Finally, Li Mei has a brand new attack. It's a lantern, and she can summon it whenever she likes on the ground. Performed with down back 2, this lantern will follow above the opponent, and it will launch them if they make contact with it. It shuts down airborne advances, but it can also be detonated by Li Mei if she shoots a fireball into it, or simply knock the opponent into it during a combo. This move can be used in higher damage combo paths, but it relies on cameos to really thrive. Air combat is a universal mechanic in MK1, and Li Mei is definitely a character that can put it to pretty good use. Her two main variants are 134 and 2121. The 2121 uses her punches, with the fourth hit not special cancelable in this build, but 134 was the one that I personally used a lot more, as you can combo it into flip kick or enhanced projectile to get the combo even bigger. It's the fact that she can use enhanced fireball in the air after air juggles to keep the combo going that really makes the difference here, as hitting them with this into something like a grounded ender into back forward 4 gives her great damage, but with the right cameo, it gives you even better setup or pressure potential. So on a base level, what does Li Mei provide? She has a good projectile, some decent combo pathing, a few launchers and great movement, but also some neutral control thanks to Lantern and projectile combined, last minute jump arc changes with things like jump back into air flip kick, instant air flip kick. She does a lot on paper, but is missing stuff that cameos can definitely help out with, and that is where we go from here. There are two current thoughts with cameo fighters at the moment. You either select a cameo to fill up a gameplay hole that exists, or you take what a character already does well and make it even better. This is why right now, as we prepare for the beta, there are two cameos that I recommend that you try with Li Mei for two different reasons. The first cameo I recommend is actually Frost. Frost fixes some issues that Li Mei might have. The first one being that Li Mei doesn't really have a reliable way to confirm into large damage. All of the strings that you'd normally use to turn into a combo can only really lead to enhanced fireball, which is okay. You can hit a back 3 afterwards and maybe a string into a special after, but that's kind of it, at least from what I could find. Frost will let you turn those strings into a ground freeze, and from there you can go into a full standard launch combo with Li Mei into an air combo and a decent ender. Outside of combo potential, Frost will give you the safety of Punch Walk, the setup potential of Orb, the Orb which, by the way, is really useful when you pair it with a Lantern, and all round the utility of Frost that is currently universal. But the addition of a confirmable freeze into more damage, corner carry, whatever you want really, gives Li Mei a lot more on-the-spot options instead. Don't forget that freeze in the corner also lets Li Mei set up a Lantern and still have time to combo them into it. It leads to impressive damage by itself. This freeze will likely exist for other cameos, but in the beta, it's just Frost. The second cameo, and one that's more about making her good tools even better, is Jax. I played a lot of Jax in the stress test with Liu Kang, and you'd be surprised just how much Jax utility that Liu Kang had works with Li Mei as well. The confirms into special, into Jax air grab, into even more damage, the neutral jump ground pound setup where you end a combo in ground pound and your neutral jump for the unblockable and armor break. It's all still there for her in various forms, and I highly doubt this is only going to work with Li Mei and Liu Kang. I'm sure when the game is out you can do this with a few characters, but outside of the combos and the ground pound setups, the lantern and the ground pound has potential to be very annoying. Because you have to jump to escape ground pound, and jumping is the one thing you do not want to do when a lantern is above you. This isn't exactly going to give Li Mei the grounded confirms like Frost will, but air grab is still gonna obtain meterless combos for you in instances she otherwise couldn't. Her 4-3-4 into air grab is a combo. Mid-screen there's potential as well, but it's gonna take her neutral ranged game and a setup game and make it a lot more powerful, while sadly keeping some of her other issues unchanged. It puts more reliance on making the most out of the hits you obtain. Overall though, Li Mei is not a hard character to pick up and play. In the beta, I'm sure many of you will be well on your way with even a little bit of understanding, and if she stays relatively intact for the official release, I imagine it will be the same thing there. But there, you'll have way more cameos to pair her with. Hopefully this video was enjoyable, and I really hope it helped you out somewhat in time for the beta. One final thank you to Warner Brothers for the gameplay capture at EVO 2023, and I will see you next time. Take care.